Goodness comes and evil goes.
Kimunga Ukombozi, Kimunga Ukombozi, Kimunga Ukombozi, divine liberty, divine liberation, divine freedom, and all that will bring for African people wherever we happen to be on the face of this earth. Karibu, welcome. My name is Kwende, and today we're going to get into another important subject, and that subject is remembering the self is a continual process. I hope that you've been able to get some useful information, maybe even some inspiration from the series of video clips that have been posted on the channel, centered around the great and wonderful hero, Omawale Malcolm X, as we are approaching the anniversary of his martyrdom. And in remembering this great hero, we're not simply remembering the person, we're remembering what he represents, the thrust of global African ascension. So whether we happen to be in the Americas, whether we happen to be in the islands, whether we happen to be in Europe, whether we are on the great African continent itself, further east of Africa, wherever we are in the world, this is a soul that represented and expressed the mission for lifting African souls, regardless of geographical location. And that makes him a very, very special soul, who, like the supreme visionary Marcus Garvey before him, sought to bring into fruition optimal flourishing for African souls on a global scale. Remembering ourselves is an ongoing and continual process of engagement. It is necessarily so. It is fabric of life. Then part of cultural fabric is the self-knowingness born of collective memory. African people must surely have their own memory and be able to express life to the full accordingly. Now, it doesn't mean that, certainly in the interrupted state that we find ourselves in, by way of the ma'afa of recent centuries, that we are compelled to flaunt how we are in the process of restoring our memory, and even how we recall and remember for ourselves. It may not be useful in survival terms to do that, and only each African will know how those dynamics work. But whatever the case is, memory must remain. Memory must be there. Memory must be functioning and empowering African life. It is the continual memory flow from which we know what we have been able to do in the then, so that it can inform what we do in the now, and we can project into the tomorrows to come more memory making, more history making, more self-determined, self-beneficial experience. This never ceases to be. It was true in African life of yesteryear, and as we become more rooted in the knowing of ourselves in the now, it is true in the present, and it will be true in the present of future generations to come. So it is continual effort, continual functioning, continual self-determined activity. Self-remembrance is key. And the great hero Omowale Malcolm X reminds African souls of this when he insightfully says, of all our studies, history is best qualified to reward our research. So with that food for thought, and surely it is food for thought, Kimunga Ukumbozi, Kimunga Ukumbozi, Kimunga Ukumbozi, divine liberty, divine liberation, divine freedom, and all that that will bring for African people, wherever we happen to be on the face of this earth.
The sun who has returned home, for Africans back on top. The sun who has returned home, for Africans back on top. The sun who has returned home, for Africans back on top. The sun who has returned home, for Africans back on top. The sun who has returned home, for Africans back on top. The sun who has returned home, for Africans back on top. The sun who has returned home, for Africans back on top.